technically it's a vinyl wrap. We recently did a chrome delete on the GX, and so today I wanted to tell y'all what we did, give you the part numbers, share our lessons learned, tips and tricks, and also going to show you poor man's chrome delete. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Miles, and I think 4x4s look better with less chrome. The operation is pretty straightforward. Order these black window moldings from Toyota. These are the base model Prado window moldings. They were not very expensive. I'll put the part numbers for them in the description. These fit our 2022 GX. I think they fit all of them from this body style, but y'all let me know in the comments if I'm incorrect about that. So these were pretty straightforward, popping them off, popping them back on, so I can show y'all that. We're doing the window moldings today, and getting these out, it's a bit of a trick. It's a push in, down, lift up kind of motion. In at the bottom, up at the top, and then you gotta push down to unhook it. All right, we start at the end. There's a big clip at the end, and then there's a channel that holds this in through the rest of the thing. I never said it was easy. There it is. So it's sort of a pushing this way and pushing down to get it to unhook, and then it'll, oh, I just hooked it back, and then it'll spin out. Just go like that all the way across, and there's another hook on the end. And these don't really matter if you break them, because if you're replacing them, these are trash anyway. Show you the new one real quick. So these are Blackline GX. So this is, if you can see kind of how this, there's a channel, there's a hook that comes up, a lip that comes up right here, and that's what you got to get down and around to unhook it. If you're replacing it, look on the new ones, and you can get an idea of what that channel looks like that you're trying to pop off and pop back on. So that's it. Blackline window moldings. So what we did while we were waiting for our Blackline window moldings to come in is we did some DIY vinyl. You see that's your original chrome, and we just took some black electrical tape, and it happens to be the perfect width, and laid it on. The ends don't really sit that great for a poor man's chrome delete. For a $5 roll of black tape, or you probably already got some sitting in your toolbox. It's been lasting pretty much. It's been like this for about a month, and I mean, can't really tell unless you look really close. But let's pull this off, get this front one replaced. Down and up, there we go. So down and up, down and in towards the door. While you're twisting it this way, see if the new one will slide in a little easier. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there's a little channel. It has to go down inside a channel, and then the rest of it just falls into place. Get our clicker right here. I clicked in. And one item of note, from the factory, there's a little clip on the end because there's a little piece of rubber here. And can you see the hole in the piece of rubber? And it actually goes through this clip, and so this clip actually holds the piece of rubber onto the end of the window molding. That hole is not present on the Blacklines. So I don't know how the Blacklines do this little piece of rubber, but I think we're just gonna put a little spot of glue and just glue that piece of rubber seal on right there. This rear quarter glass, the chrome molding is actually built into the glass. So in order to, you can swap it out for this stuff, but you have to replace the entire glass. And so actually before we even bought these, but even the old GX, we were running electrical tape. People don't notice, you know, I mean, if nobody can tell us electrical tape, to me that's a success, because it's a nice flat black, and that's what we've continued to do on the rear glass is vinyl wrap it, electrical tape, black vinyl. So I'm gonna put a new piece on this one because it's starting to peel off. I don't think it was put on that great. So let's get this old one off. If I were doing this right, I would get some alcohol out here, some rubbing alcohol, maybe some other alcohol, but mostly rubbing alcohol, and we would clean this off. But whatever, I'll just use the tape, pull up some of this loose debris in here and not try and hunt down rubbing alcohol at the moment. A little bit of a game of lining it up. There it is. Vinyl wrap any vehicle, window molding. You can, excuse me, vinyl wrap, chrome delete the window molding on any vehicle with the vinyl wrap that you probably have in your toolbox right now. This is the delicate part of the operation. Make sure I don't make a mess here anywhere. That's it. Chrome delete the window moldings. To get rid of the chrome on all these door handles, just order a couple cans of color matching paint and a can of clear coat. Tape it off real well. That is the most important part, is taping it off extremely well, getting a good edge on your tape across here and across here so that you're only painting the chrome. Then put a few coats of color and another few coats of clear. We recommend ordering 2 cans of color and using 1 for each side. We thought we had more in the first can that we did the other side with, and it ended up messing up coming out of the can. So use a fresh can for each side. It may have been the place we bought the paint from that there just didn't seem to be much in the color can. We're gonna have to sand this and give it another go at some point, but we'll figure out when that'll be. So for the temporary chrome delete on the roof rails, we just use Plasti-dip. So this is a Plasti-dip of the OEM roof rails and the OEM 460 crossbars. It looks pretty good from away. You know, it's not super great when you get up close, but it looks good enough for now until we put a real rack on it. As you can see here, we got rid of those OEM roof rails and put on a proper rack. This one's a Prinsu Pro. On the last rig, we had a Prospeed, which was a good rack. I really like the Prospeed's quick connects for their awning mount, because that's a big thing for us, is we like to be able to throw the awning on, the 270 on when we're going out. And the Prospeed had a really good awning quick disconnect. I prefer them when there's nothing on a lot of them, there's a thing that mounts to the rack, and then you mount the awning to that. But I prefer the rack to be clean. I like the ones that are just, everything's mounted to the awning, and then that mounts to the rack, quick connects. But this Prinsu Pro has been pretty awesome. I like how far it comes back on the rig. Very well made. It's made differently than other racks, whereas other racks are, they just come, it's one piece of metal that just comes straight up here. The Prinsu Pro curves over like this, which I like better, but it means we're stuck only being able to use Prinsu awning disconnects, which they still haven't made one that I like, even though they're on version 2 right now. So I'm gonna be making my own. Keep an eye for that in the upcoming video. Our last GX came with silver wheels. Luckily this new one, they come black from the factory, but on the ones with the silver wheels, we use this Hyper Dip shadow black or phantom black, some kind of, it's a matte black color. Forget what they call it. Plasti-dip, it's I don't know if this one's necessarily better than the name brand, but it's what we used. It was great. We Plasti-dipped the wheels and the roof rails of the old GX to black out both of those. The wheels were quite durable. It was quite durable in the wheels. The Hyper Dip makes like a restoration kit or a repair kit, they call it, that you can spray on and it'll basically blend in case you get a chunk gets knocked off of it from your wheels or something. But overall, it looked really good and very low maintenance. So as far as what it costs and how much time it takes to do this, I think these black window moldings were about 40 bucks each. So 160 for the set, and it probably takes about 30 minutes to pop the old ones off and put the new ones on. That's not hard at all. The paint for the door handles was less than 50 bucks for all the color and the clear coat. This took several hours. I mean, taping it off, just taping all 4 of these handles off was maybe an hour or 2 of work, because you, like I was saying earlier, you want to be really careful with that part. The Hyper Dip of the wheels and the rack was pretty easy. You spray it and peel the edges. The wheels take a little bit more time. Just need some patience to do those. But the supplies for the Hyper dips, just buying a can of stuff is less than 50 bucks. It's not expensive. I was talking about the rack a little bit earlier, but it's sort of chrome delete. So overall, I think it's a huge improvement to the looks of this vehicle. To remove this chrome, get the whole windows blacked out, to get rid of that chrome on the door handles. I feel like the whole side looks more like it belongs together when the whole thing is painted the same color. Like I said, this one came with the blackout wheels, so it really, I think, matches now that it's all de-chromed on the sides. I guess if you're curious, these are KO3s, which to me, you take any GX, put some 32-inch tires on it, it's ready for the trails. That's really all you have to do for these vehicles. They're pretty impressive. So it's very possible and not that expensive. It can be done at home on the cheap. That's kind of what we do around here, is doing DIY, do it ourselves. So it's a huge visual improvement, huge improvement to the looks in my opinion. But I like 4x4s to look like a 4x4.